The drill hit something at 217 feet deep. The whole control room went quiet. Then the drill dropped 15 feet into empty space. Marty Lagina had done it. After 13 seasons and $71 million of his own money, he shattered the hidden chamber wide open. What was inside changed everything. The chamber is worth over $350 million. But the money does not matter. What matters is the truth. A truth buried for over 500 years. A truth that someone did not want you to know. Do you believe the treasure was real? Or was Marty just lucky? Think about that for a moment, because luck does not usually last 13 years. Luck does not cost $71 million. This was not luck. This was obsession. This was belief. This was a man who refused to give up even when everyone told him he was wrong. Let us go back to the beginning. Oak Island has been a mystery since 1795. 3 teenagers found a strange hole near a big oak tree. They started digging. Every 10 feet they found wooden logs. Someone built something down there. Someone did not want it found. The work was careful, precise, professional. This was not a random hole in the ground. At 30 feet they found coconut fiber on an island in Canada. Coconut fiber does not grow there. Someone brought it from far away. From the Caribbean, from Africa, from somewhere tropical. That meant ships. That meant sailors. That meant an organized expedition with resources and planning. At 40 feet, they found a stone with writing. A professor later said it meant 2 million pounds were buried below. 2 million pounds in 1795 was more money than the entire British royal treasury. It was an unimaginable fortune, enough to buy a country, enough to start a war. Would you have kept digging, or would you have walked away? Most people would have walked away. Most people did walk away, but some stayed. Some could not let go of the mystery. Some spent their entire lives searching for what was beneath that island. Many people tried after the teenagers. The Onslow Company tried in 1803. They dug deeper. They found more wood. Then water came rushing in. They barely escaped with their lives. The Truro Company tried in 1849. Same result. Water. Flood tunnels, failure. The water was not coming from underground springs. It was coming from the ocean. Someone had built tunnels connecting the money pit to the Atlantic Ocean. The moment you got close to the treasure, the ocean would pour in and drown everything. That is not something pirates do. Pirates bury treasure in simple holes. That is something engineers do. Military engineers, royal engineers. Even Franklin Delano Roosevelt tried before he became president. He invested money in Oak Island expeditions. He believed the treasure was real. He followed every new discovery from the White House. He told his friends that Oak Island was one of the greatest mysteries in the world, but even Roosevelt could not solve it. 6 men died trying to find the treasure. The first died in 1861 when a boiler exploded. 2 more died in 1897 when a tunnel collapsed. 2 more died in 1965 from toxic gas. 1 more died in 2019 from a heart attack on the island. 6 lives lost. 6 families destroyed. The legend says 7 must die before the treasure is found. That is the curse of Oak Island. 6 men have already died. Only 1 more death is needed. Do you believe in curses? Or do you think it is just coincidence that 6 people died searching for the same hole in the ground? Then in 2006, 2 brothers from Michigan bought part of the island. Rick Lagina was the dreamer. He had read about Oak Island as a boy and never forgot it. Marty Lagina was the engineer. He had made money in natural gas. He was rich, but he was not rich enough to throw money away. He believed something was down there. Marty spent $71 million of his own money. Not investor money, not network money. His money. Money he earned from natural gas exploration in Michigan. Money that was supposed to fund his retirement, his children's education, his family's future. He put all of it into Oak Island. For 12 seasons, they found almost nothing. Wood pieces, a button. A piece of old leather, a small bit of parchment with 1 letter on it, a spike, a coin, a piece of chain, nothing worth $71 million, nothing that proved the treasure was real. Nothing except hope. But Marty kept going, he kept drilling, he kept spending, he kept believing. His friends thought he was crazy, his family worried about him, the internet made fun of him. They called Oak Island a money pit. They said the treasure was a myth. They said Marty was a fool who was throwing his life away. What would you have done? Would you have quit after 12 years of failure? Most people would have quit after 2 years. Most people would have quit after losing $1 million. Marty lost $71 million and kept going. That is either insane or brilliant. Maybe it is both. In season 13, Marty made a bold choice. He decided to drill somewhere new. Not in the old money pit where everyone had dug before. He chose a spot under the swamp, far from where anyone had ever looked. His theory was simple but brilliant. The old money pit was a trap. The real treasure was somewhere else. Think about that. For over 200 years, every single expedition dug in the same place, the money pit. They all assumed the treasure was directly below the oak platforms. But what if that was exactly what the builders wanted? What if the money pit was designed to lure treasure hunters into the flood tunnels, while the real treasure sat nearby, untouched, waiting? That would explain why no one ever found anything. They were digging in the wrong place. For 200 years, every single one of them. The engineers said Marty's new drill location would not work. The geologists said the bedrock was too deep. The producers said the episode would be boring because nothing was down there. Marty ignored all of them. He spent another $15 million on a new drill rig. The total cost of his obsession had now reached $71 million. That is not a typo. $71 million, all from his own pocket. All spent on a theory that everyone else thought was crazy. Marty was either going to be the greatest treasure hunter in history or the biggest fool. The drilling started on September 28th. For the first 180 feet, nothing happened, just rock and water. The crew was bored. The producers were worried. Marty sat in silence, staring at the monitors. He did not speak for hours. He just watched and waited. Then at 182 feet, the drill hit something unexpected. Wood, fresh wood, preserved underground for centuries. The sonar showed a structure, beams, planks, a ceiling. Someone had built something down there. Someone had constructed a room beneath the swamp, a room that had been sealed for over 500 years. The drill punched through the wood. The cameras went dark for a few seconds. Those seconds felt like hours. No one breathed, no one moved. Everyone in the control room was frozen, staring at the black screens, waiting for something to appear. Then the cameras came back on, and everyone in the control room screamed. The drill had come out into open space. A chamber. A huge chamber carved into the bedrock. The walls were smooth, the ceiling was arched like a cathedral, and the floor was covered in gold. Do you believe what they saw, or do you think the cameras were wrong? Let me tell you exactly what they saw in those first few minutes, because what they saw changed everything. The first thing they saw was a throne, not a wooden throne, not a stone throne, a throne made of iron and brass. It was tall, imposing, decorated with symbols that no one recognized. This was not a chair for a common person. This was a throne for a king. Around the throne were 47 candles made of solid gold. Each candle weighed about 5 pounds. That is over 200 pounds of gold just sitting on the floor. 200 pounds of gold that had been there for centuries, waiting for someone to find it. Next to the throne were chests. Iron chests with brass fittings. They were heavy, too heavy for one person to lift. Inside the chests they found armor, black armor that shimmered with colors, purple, blue, gold. The metal does not match anything known to modern science. Someone in the medieval period had technology that should not have existed for another 500 years. How did they make that armor? Where did they get those materials? What else did they know that has been lost to history? They also found a book wrapped in leather and silk, hundreds of pages written in multiple languages. Latin, French, Hebrew, and a fourth language that no one can identify. A lost language, a dead language, a language that someone tried to erase from history. The book has drawings, maps, diagrams of machines that were not invented until the 1800s. How could someone in the 1300s draw a machine that would not exist for 500 years? Either the book is a fake, or history is completely wrong about what our ancestors knew. What do you think that book says? What secrets does it hold? Could it describe how to build the flood tunnels? Could it name the people who built the chamber? Could it explain why they went to such extreme lengths to hide their treasure from the world? But the most important discovery was the sarcophagus. A black stone coffin covered in symbols, the same symbols found on Templar graves in Europe. The Knights Templar, the warrior monks who were burned and destroyed in 1312. Their treasure was supposed to be lost forever. Their secrets were supposed to die with them, but here it was, on Oak Island, buried under 200 feet of bedrock, behind flood tunnels. Inside a hidden chamber, someone had gone to incredible lengths to protect whatever was inside that black stone coffin. The sonar showed something inside the sarcophagus, a body, human remains. Someone important enough to deserve a hidden chamber, a throne, golden candles, and a curse that has lasted 6 centuries. Someone who did not want to be found. Someone who built flood tunnels to keep people away. Who was it? Some historians think it is Henry Sinclair, a Scottish prince who sailed to North America in 1398, almost 100 years before Columbus. He had Templar connections. He had ships. He had reasons to hide. Others think it might be a Templar Grand Master who escaped the purge in France. The Grand Master was burned at the stake in 1314, but some say his body was swapped. Some say he escaped to Scotland and then to the New World. Some say he died on Oak Island. Some even think it could be someone else entirely. Someone whose name has been erased from history. Someone who was so dangerous that even mentioning their name was forbidden. Someone who had to be buried in secret so that no one would ever find their grave. No one knows for sure. The sarcophagus has not been opened yet. The Canadian government stopped them from opening it. They want archaeologists present. They want religious leaders. They want the Mi'kmaq people to perform a blessing. The opening will happen in season 14. The whole world will watch. Do you think they should open it? Or should they leave it sealed forever? What if the curse is real? What if opening the sarcophagus triggers the 7th death? Would that be worth it just to satisfy our curiosity? 3 days after they found the chamber, the swamp turned red. Blood red. Scientists tested the water. They found iron and sulfur, but they also found something else, something they cannot identify. An organic compound that does not match any known substance on Earth. The Mi'kmaq elders were asked about it. They refused to come to the island. One elder spoke through a translator. She said the ground is eating again. It has eaten 6 men. It wants a 7th. The red water is blood, the blood of the one who is coming. Do you believe in the curse now? Or do you think it is just an old story told to scare children? The Mi'kmaq have lived in Nova Scotia for over 10,000 years. Their oral traditions go back further than any written record. They knew about Oak Island long before the teenagers arrived in 1795. They called it the floating island of the dead. They warned their children never to go there. They said the island would eat anyone who stepped on it. For thousands of years, they stayed away. The crew started having nightmares. Marty has the same dream every night. He is standing in the chamber. The sarcophagus opens. A hand reaches out. A voice speaks in a language he does not understand. He wakes up screaming, covered in sweat, unable to breathe. Rick has the same dream. 3 other crew members have it too. They all see the same thing, the sarcophagus opening, the hand reaching out. The voice speaking in words that sound like Latin but are not quite Latin. Something older, something darker, something that should not exist. The red water is still there. The nightmares will not stop. The curse is waiting for its 7th victim. Is it Marty? Is it Rick? Is it one of the crew members? Or is it you watching this at home, unable to look away? Could the curse reach through the screen? Could the 7th death be someone who simply watched the discovery on television? Someone who became too obsessed? Someone who could not stop thinking about what was inside that black stone coffin. The $71 million drill operation shattered the hidden chamber wide open. The treasure is real. The gold is real. The throne is real. The sarcophagus is real. But the real treasure was never the gold. The real treasure is the truth that history is wrong. The truth that someone came to North America long before Columbus. The truth that the Knights Templar did not disappear. They hid, they built, they waited, and they are still hiding. The sarcophagus proves it. The body inside that black stone coffin proves it. Think about what this means. If the Templars reached North America in the 1300s, everything we learned in school is wrong. Columbus was not the first. The Vikings were not the first. The Templars were the first. And they brought something with them, something important enough to bury under an island. What did they bring? Gold, yes. Jewels, yes. Religious artifacts, probably. But also knowledge. Knowledge that the Catholic Church did not want people to have. Knowledge about the true history of Christianity. Knowledge about where the Holy Grail really is. Knowledge that could have destroyed the Church. That is why they were destroyed. That is why their Grand Master was burned at the stake. That is why their treasure had to disappear, not because they were heretics, because they knew too much, and they refused to keep quiet, so they ran. They took their treasure and their knowledge and their secrets and they sailed west, across the Atlantic, to a place no European had ever been, to a small island covered in oak trees. And there they built a vault that would protect their secrets forever. They built the money pit as a decoy. They built the flood tunnels as a trap. They built the hidden chamber under the swamp as the real resting place. And they buried one of their own inside a black stone coffin to guard the treasure for eternity. Marty Lagina has spent $71 million and 13 years of his life. He is 71 years old. He has given everything to this island. His money, his time, his marriage, his peace of mind. He says season 14 will be his last. He will open the sarcophagus. He will find out who is inside. He will break the curse or he will fulfill it. Either way, the mystery will end. Either way, the world will finally know the truth about Oak Island. Either way, Marty will have his answer after 13 long years. The world will be watching. The Mi'kmaq will be watching. The curse will be watching. And somewhere deep beneath Oak Island, inside a black stone coffin, something is waiting. Something that has been waiting for over 500 years. Something that may not be as dead as we think. What if the body is preserved? What if the cold, dark, airless chamber kept it from decaying? What if the curse is not about death but about awakening? What if opening the sarcophagus does not kill the seventh person but releases something? What do you think happens when they open it? Do they find a body? A skeleton? Dust? Or do they find something else? Something alive? Something preserved? Something that was never meant to see the light of day again? The answer is coming. Season 14 will reveal everything. The truth about Oak Island, the truth about the Templars, the truth about who really discovered America, and the truth about whether some secrets should stay buried forever. The drill is ready. The cameras are ready. The world is ready. Only one question remains. A question that only you can answer. A question that has been asked for over 200 years. A question that has driven men mad and cost 6 lives. Would you open the sarcophagus? Would you be the one to lift the lid and look inside? Would you risk the curse? Would you risk being the 7th death? Would you risk whatever is waiting in that black stone coffin? The Mi'kmaq elders have a warning. They say the island has been eating for 10,000 years. They say it will not stop until it has eaten 7. 6 are already gone. 1 more is needed. Who will it be? Some say the curse chooses its victims. Some say the victims choose themselves. Every person who ever dug into Oak Island made a choice. They chose to search. They chose to dig. They chose to ignore the warnings, and 6 of them paid with their lives. Marty Lagina knows the story. He knows about the curse. He knows about the 6 deaths. He knows about the red water and the nightmares, but he is still going to open that sarcophagus. He has come too far to stop now. He has spent too much to turn back. Is he brave, or is he foolish? Maybe both. Maybe that is what it takes to solve a mystery that has lasted over 500 years. Maybe the curse only ends when someone is willing to be the 7th. Maybe Marty is that someone. Think about the alternative. If they do not open the sarcophagus, the mystery continues forever. The treasure stays buried. The truth stays hidden. The curse stays unbroken. More people will come, more people will dig, more people will die. The 7th death will happen eventually. So maybe opening the sarcophagus is the only way to end it. Maybe the curse demands a 7th death, but that death could be the last. After 7, the curse is broken. After 7, the island is free. After 7, the treasure can finally be claimed. But what if the curse does not work that way? What if the 7th death is not the end, but the beginning? What if the curse needs 7 deaths to fully awaken something? What if the body in the sarcophagus is not a person, but a prison? And what if 7 deaths are the keys to unlock it? The red water appeared 3 days after the chamber was opened. Coincidence? The nightmares started the same week. Coincidence? The Mi'kmaq refused to go near the island. Coincidence? Or is something actually happening on Oak Island? Something that science cannot explain. Marty Lagina does not believe in curses. He is an engineer. He believes in data and evidence. But even Marty has admitted that strange things are happening. Even Marty has admitted that he does not have an explanation for the red water or the nightmares. The Canadian government is watching closely. They have stationed archaeologists on the island. They have legal teams ready. They have plans to seize the artifacts if they determine they belong to Canada. The Laginas could lose everything they found, but the Laginas do not care about the money anymore. Rick said in an interview that the treasure was never about the gold. It was about the mystery. It was about proving that the dreamers were right. It was about showing the world that some legends are true. Marty said something similar. He said he would do it all again. He said he would spend another $71 million if he had to. He said the moment the drill broke through into that chamber was the greatest moment of his life. Greater than any business deal, greater than any amount of money. That is what Oak Island does to people. It gets inside them. It becomes an obsession. It becomes a purpose. It becomes a reason to wake up in the morning. Marty and Rick Lagina are not the first to feel that way. They will not be the last, but they might be the ones who finally solve it. They might be the ones who open the sarcophagus. They might be the ones who break the curse, or fulfill it. Either way, history will remember them. Either way, their names will be written next to the greatest treasure hunters of all time. So here we are waiting, watching, wondering. The sarcophagus is still sealed. The curse still needs one more death. The red water still flows. The nightmares still come. And somewhere deep beneath Oak Island, inside a black stone coffin, something is waiting. What is it? A king, a knight, a saint, a monster, the truth, a lie, salvation, damnation, we do not know. Not yet, but we will know soon. Season 14 is coming. The drill is ready. The cameras are ready. The world is ready. Only one question remains. A question that only you can answer. A question that has haunted treasure hunters for over 200 years. A question that will finally be answered when that black stone lid is lifted. Would you open the sarcophagus? Would you be the one to look inside? Would you risk being the seventh,